Welcome to Premium Coin Deals. Could a simple 25-cent coin from 1965 really be worth $1.8 million today? Sounds crazy, right? But there's a lot more to this story than just internet rumors. In this video, we're diving deep into the 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter, its history, what makes some coins incredibly rare, and how to tell if the one in your pocket might be worth a fortune. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and whether that quarter in your drawer could change your life. First, let's rewind to 1965. That year was a turning point in U.S. coin history. Due to rising silver prices, the U.S. Mint made a bold decision. They stopped making quarters out of 90% silver. Instead, they switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition, what most quarters are made of today. The 1965 quarter was the first clad quarter, and importantly, it has no mint mark, because all quarters that year were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use a mint mark at the time. Every genuine 1965 quarter has no mint mark. So no mint mark alone doesn't make it rare. So where does this $1.8 million story come from? Well, over the past few years, headlines and viral posts claim that a rare error version of the 1965 quarter sold for over $1 million. Faced with monocle, here's what actually happened. A few 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on leftover 90% silver planchets, the kind used in 1964. These are genuine mint errors and extremely rare. Only a handful are known to exist. Moneybag, one of those rare 1965 silver quarters, sold at auction for over $7,000, and others have fetched upwards of $10,000 to $16,000, depending on condition. But $1.8 million? There's no verified sale at that level yet. So the $1 million claim? Mostly internet hype. But the coin can still be worth thousands if it's the right error type. So how do you know if your 1965 quarter is valuable? Here's what to look for. If you see a copper-colored line on the edge, it's the regular clad version. If it's all silver with no visible copper, you may have something special. Regular 1965 quarters weigh about 5.67 grams. A 90% silver quarter weighs 6.25 grams. Use a jeweler's scale. Even that tiny difference matters. A silver quarter has a higher pitched ring compared to the dull clink of a clad coin. Try dropping it on a wooden surface. There are 1,965 quarters struck on nickel planchets, dime planchets, even foreign coin blanks, and those can be worth hundreds to thousands. Next, condition is everything. Even a rare coin's value drops dramatically if it's scratched, worn, or cleaned. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC in mint state 65 or higher are far more desirable to collectors. So if you think you have a rare error or high-grade quarter, don't clean it. Instead, consider getting it professionally graded. Let's bust a few myths real quick. No mint mark means it's rare. False. All 1965 quarters have no mint mark. That alone doesn't make them valuable. Every 1965 quarter is silver. False. Most are copper-nickel clad. Some rare 1965 quarters were struck on silver planchets. True. And those are the ones that can be worth thousands. You can just sell one on eBay for $1 million. False. Serious collectors only pay big money for authenticated, graded coins with rare errors. So, could your 1965 quarter be worth a fortune? Maybe. But remember, it's not just the date that matters. It's the metal, the weight, the condition, and the rarity of any error. If you've got a suspicious quarter, it's worth checking it out. Who knows, maybe you're sitting on a tiny treasure. If you found this helpful, give us a like and subscribe for more coin collecting tips, rare finds, and true market values. And don't forget to hit that bell so you never miss a chance to turn pocket change into profit. Could a simple 25-cent coin from 1965 really be worth $1.8 million today? Sounds crazy, right? But there's a lot more to this story than just internet rumors. In this video, we're diving deep into the 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter, its history, what makes some coins incredibly rare, and how to tell if the one in your pocket might be worth a fortune. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and whether that quarter in your drawer could change your life. First, let's rewind to 1965. That year was a turning point in U.S. coin history. Due to rising silver prices, the U.S. Mint made a bold decision. They stopped making quarters out of 90% silver. Instead, they switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition, what most quarters are made of today. The 1965 quarter was the first clad quarter, and importantly, it has no mint mark, because all quarters that year were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use a mint mark at the time. Every genuine 1965 quarter has no mint mark. So no mint mark alone doesn't make it rare. So where does this $1.8 million story come from? Well, over the past few years, headlines and viral posts claim that a rare air version of the 1965 quarter sold for over $1 million. Faced with monocle, here's what actually happened. A few 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on leftover 90% silver planchets, the kind used in 1964. These are genuine mint errors and extremely rare. Only a handful are known to exist. Moneybag, one of those rare 1965 silver quarters, sold at auction for over $7,000, and others have fetched upwards of $10,000 to $16,000, depending on condition. But $1.8 million? There's no verified sale at that level yet. So the $1 million claim? Mostly internet hype. But the coin can still be worth thousands if it's the right error type. So how do you know if your 1965 quarter is valuable? Here's what to look for. If you see a copper-colored line on the edge, it's the regular clad version. If it's all silver with no visible copper, you may have something special. Regular 1965 quarters weigh about 5.67 grams. A 90% silver quarter weighs 6.25 grams. Use a jeweler's scale. Even that tiny difference matters. A silver quarter has a higher pitched ring compared to the dull clink of a clad coin. Try dropping it on a wooden surface. There are 1,965 quarters struck on nickel planchets, dime planchets, even foreign coin blanks, and those can be worth hundreds to thousands. Next, condition is everything. Even a rare coin's value drops dramatically if it's scratched, worn, or cleaned. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC in mint state 65 or higher are far more desirable to collectors. So if you think you have a rare error or high-grade quarter, don't clean it. Instead, consider getting it professionally graded. Let's bust a few myths real quick. No mint mark means it's rare. False. All 1965 quarters have no mint mark. That alone doesn't make them valuable. Every 1965 quarter is silver. False. Most are copper-nickel clad. Some rare 1965 quarters were struck on silver planchets. True. And those are the ones that can be worth thousands. You can just sell one on eBay for $1 million. False. Serious collectors only pay big money for authenticated, graded coins with rare errors. So, could your 1965 quarter be worth a fortune? Maybe. But remember, it's not just the date that matters. It's the metal, the weight, the condition, and the rarity of any error. If you've got a suspicious quarter, it's worth checking it out. Who knows, maybe you're sitting on a tiny treasure. If you found this helpful, give us a like and subscribe for more coin collecting tips, rare finds, and true market values. And don't forget to hit that bell so you never miss a chance to turn pocket change into profit. Whether you're a coin collector or someone who just found an old quarter in your pocket change, you might be sitting on a fortune. Stay tuned as we reveal the true story behind the 1967 quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1967, it had become a staple of American currency made primarily of copper-nickel clad, not silver like earlier versions. But 1967 was a unique year in coin history. The U.S. Mint was still recovering from the coin shortage of the early 60s, and in an effort to simplify production, they removed mint marks from all coins made between 1965 and 1967. All quarters from 1967 have no mint mark, regardless of whether they were made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. So how could a coin like this, that had no mint mark by design, possibly be worth $1.7 million? Well, the truth lies in a combination of extreme rarity, mint errors, and condition. Most 1967 quarters are worth their face value, maybe a couple bucks in brilliant uncirculated condition. But every so often, one surfaces with a dramatic minting error, like a double die, off-center strike, or being mistakenly struck on a silver planchet. Even more valuable are those graded MS 68 or higher by reputable agencies like PCGS or NGC. There are only a handful of these known. In fact, one particularly flawless quarter from 1967, possibly with a unique error and pristine condition, sold at auction for an eye-popping $1.7 million. If you want to know whether your 1967 quarter could be worth a fortune, here's what to look for. Coins in mint state, MS 65 and above, are the most valuable. Look for sharp details, full rims, and no visible wear. double die obverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or being struck on a silver or foreign planchet. These are rare, but highly collectible. A typical 1967 quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. If your quarter weighs significantly more or less, it may have been struck on the wrong metal. Coins with full luster and a strong, clear strike are far more desirable. Check the hair detail on Washington's head and the eagle's feathers. If you think you've got something special, don't clean the coin that can reduce its value. Instead, send it to a reputable grading company like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. They'll certify its authenticity, grade its condition, and give it a secure holder. Once it's graded, you can sell it through high-end auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers, where serious collectors pay top dollar, sometimes even 7 figures. For the rarest finds. Let's be real, not every 1967 quarter is worth thousands, and certainly not all are million-dollar coins. Many YouTube videos and online listings inflate values to get clicks, but the real value comes from genuine rarity, documented errors, and top-tier condition. And those coins do exist. So while the average 1967 quarter is just 25 cents, the rarest examples have sold for jaw-dropping amounts, like that famous $1.7 million sale we mentioned. So, is your 1967 quarter the next million-dollar find? Maybe. Check your change, look closely, and if you suspect you've got something rare, get it graded. Coins like these are history in your hands, and sometimes, a hidden treasure. Backhand index pointing right. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next rare coin deep dive. Drop a comment below if you have a 1967 quarter or want me to cover another specific coin next time. If you're into hidden treasures and numismatic mysteries, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a coin worth a fortune. Let's rewind to 1980. The United States Mint in Philadelphia was producing quarters like crazy, hundreds of millions of them. That year, the Washington quarter featured the familiar bust of George Washington on the obverse, with the reverse showcasing the majestic eagle design. This coin was made from a copper-nickel-clad composition. No silver here. So on the surface, nothing about it screams million-dollar treasure. So why all the hype? To understand how a 1980 quarter could be worth over $1 million, we have to talk about what makes a coin valuable. The fewer examples exist, the higher the value. Coins graded MS 67 or higher by PCGS or NGC can fetch astronomical prices. A misprint or double die can turn an ordinary coin into a gold mine. Historical significance or collector demand can also spike the value. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the $1.6 million claim. Some online rumors and viral posts have suggested that a 1980p quarter fetched this jaw-dropping price at a private auction or is listed with this valuation due to an extremely rare error, like a dramatic off-center strike, double die obverse, or planchet mix-up. However, there is no public record of a 1980p quarter officially selling for $1.6 million. So where does this number come from? While we haven't seen a 1980p quarter sell for that price, there are known errors and exceptionally high-grade examples that are valuable. A double die obverse or reverse from 1980 could be incredibly rare if found. A quarter mistakenly struck on a foreign planchet, like a penny or dime blank, can be extremely valuable. Even regular 1980p quarters in MS 67 plus condition have sold for hundreds to thousands of dollars. And guess what? There are very few examples of 1980 quarters in near-perfect condition. If you're wondering whether your 1980p quarter is worth serious money, here's what to do. Look for no wear, strong luster, and sharp details. Spot unusual features like doubling on letters, odd textures, or minting anomalies. A standard quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If yours weighs more or less, it could be struck on the wrong planchet. PCGS or NGC can give you an official grade. An MS 67 or higher could be a jackpot. It's important to be cautious. Many websites and videos use clickbait claims, like a 1980 quarter worth $1.6 million, to grab attention. While there are rare and valuable coins out there, always cross-check with reputable sources and auction records like Heritage Auctions or PCGS price guides. Still, the thrill of the hunt is real. People have found rare coins in loose change, coin rolls, and even old drawers. So, is your 1980p Washington quarter worth $1.6 million? Probably not. But could it be worth $100, $1,000, or even more if it has a rare error or is in pristine condition. Absolutely. So go check your pocket change. You might just be sitting on a small fortune. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with a fellow treasure hunter. Comment below if you've got a 1980 quarter, and let's talk coins. We're diving deep into the mystery and value of the 1986 Washington quarter, and why one rare variety is reportedly worth $1.8 million to collectors if you've got a handful of old coins lying around. You're going to want to check them after watching this video, because you might just be sitting on a fortune. Let's start with the basics. The 1986 Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia. That's what the P mint mark stands for. In total, over 551 million of these were produced. So on the surface, it's a very common coin. These quarters feature George Washington on the obverse, a design first introduced in 1932, and the iconic bald eagle reverse that was used through 1998. Most of these coins are only worth face value, 25 cents, especially if they've been in circulation. But certain rare varieties and errors can skyrocket their value. Before we get to the million-dollar quarter, let's talk quickly about what gives a coin its value. There are a few key things collectors look for. These are accidental mistakes made during the minting process. Coins are graded from poor P1 all the way to mint state 70 MS70. The higher the grade, the more valuable. The fewer of a specific variety that exist, the more collectors will pay. Even a rare coin needs to be wanted to fetch a high price. So where does the $1.8 million figure come from? Rumors have swirled for years in the numismatic community about a rare error version of the 1986 quarter, possibly involving a double die obverse, where the design is struck twice slightly off-center, making it look double. A wrong planchet error, such as being struck on a nickel or foreign coin blank. Or even a proof strike in a business strike batch, which is extremely unusual for the Philadelphia Mint. According to some sources, one such 1986 quarter with a unique error in mint condition was sold privately, possibly through an estate auction or confidential collector deal, for a price exceeding $1.8 million. Unfortunately, no public auction record confirms this, making it part truth, part mystery. While the $1.8 million sale is rare and likely an anomaly, there are 1986 quarters that have sold for big money. A 1986 quarter graded MS67 by PCGS sold for over $2,000 at auction. Some mint error coins, like off-center strikes or double strikes, can go for $100 to $500, depending on how dramatic the error is. So even if yours isn't worth millions, it could still be a profitable find if it's in top shape or has a rare mistake. Here's how you can check if your 1986 quarter is valuable. Look for errors: doubling, misalignment, wrong metal tone. Check the condition. Is it shiny? No scratches? Full detail? Use a loupe or magnifier, especially to inspect the mint mark and find features. Compare to auction records. Use PCGS, NGC, or heritage auctions. Get it graded. If it looks perfect or suspiciously unique, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. So, is your 1986 quarter worth $1.8 million? The chances are slim, but not impossible. What's more likely is that you could discover a valuable error or a high-grade gem that puts a few hundred, or even a few $1,000 in your pocket. And the best part, you don't need to buy anything. Just take a look through your pocket change, old coin jars, or inherited collections. The treasure might already be with you. We're diving deep into the value, rarity, and the real story behind the 1987 quarter. Let's find out if you could be holding a fortune in your pocket change. The Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1932, honoring the 200th birthday of George Washington. But the coin we're looking at today, the 1987 mint mark quarter, was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. It's made of copper nickel clad and is part of the standard circulation series, with over 600 million produced that year. So what makes this coin potentially special? Let's break it down. Several YouTube videos, articles, and even TikToks have gone viral claiming that a 1987 quarter is worth up to $1.5 million. Often, these videos show a normal-looking coin and suggest that it's ultra-rare. But here's the truth. There is no confirmed record of a 1987 quarter selling for $1.5 million. So where does the rumor come from? Some speculate it's due to confusion with error coins or rare varieties. More on that in a second. Others say it's simply clickbait designed to get views. But as any serious collector will tell you, value is in the details. Now this is where things get interesting. There are 1987 P quarters that can be worth real money because of mint errors or rare variations. Here are a few that collectors prize. This error causes doubling in the lettering, especially noticeable in Liberty or In God We Trust. These can fetch $50 to $200 depending on condition. If your coin was struck outside the center and shows missing parts of the design, it could be worth $100 to $300 or more. A small piece of the coin is missing due to a minting defect. These can go from $20 to $150 plus. Oddly shaped or damaged coins caused during minting can also bring in collector interest, but none of these, even the rarest ones, are currently documented to be worth over six figures, let alone $1.5 million. Coin grading plays a huge role in value. Most circulated 1987 P quarters are only worth face value, 25 cents. But an uncirculated coin in mint state, MS67 or higher, could be worth $20 to $50, especially if it's slabbed by a service like PCGS or NGC. For a coin to fetch thousands, it has to be a top population coin. The absolute best graded example known. In auctions, high-grade modern coins can surprise us. But for the 1987 P quarter, the current auction record is just a few $100s, not millions. Want to check your own quarters? Here's what to do. Look for errors under a magnifier, especially doubling, off-centers, and planchet flaws. Check the condition. Is it uncirculated? Anywhere knocks down the value fast. Use online databases like PCGS Price Guide or NGC Coin Explorer. Submit rare finds to be graded only if they're truly promising. Grading costs money. And if you're unsure, consult a local coin shop or online community like r/coins on Reddit. So, is a 1987 P quarter worth $1.5 million? The honest answer, highly unlikely. While mint errors and high grades can bring in respectable cash, there is no verified example worth even close to seven figures. But don't let that discourage you. Coin hunting is a rewarding hobby, and hidden gems do exist. Who knows? Maybe you'll find the next big rarity. We're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in U.S. history, the 1990 D Washington quarter dollar. Is there really a version of this coin worth over $1 million? Or is it just internet hype? The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. It quickly became a staple of American currency. But not all quarters are created equal, especially when we get into errors and rare variations. By 1990, the design hadn't changed much, still our first president on the obverse, and the eagle on the reverse. But that year, at the Denver Mint, something unusual happened. The Denver Mint struck millions of quarters in 1990. Most are worth face value. But rumors have swirled about an extremely rare error, one that could fetch up to $1.5 million. So what should you look for? There are a few variations that collectors go crazy for. Off-center strikes, double dies, wrong planchet errors, no mint mark or ghost, D errors, full drum lines, and ultra-high reliefs. But the million-dollar question is this. Does the legendary $1.5 million 1990 D coin really exist? According to coin forums and some viral posts, one such coin supposedly sold to a wealthy private collector for over $1 million. The claim? It was a 1990 D quarter with a unique mint error and incredibly high grade, possibly an MS68 or higher, with a striking mint mistake that makes it truly one of a kind. While there's no confirmed auction listing for this exact sale, the possibility remains, because in numismatics, rare errors plus pristine condition can equal staggering value. Let's ground this in reality. According to PCGS and NGC data, high-grade 1990 D quarters have sold for hundreds, even thousands, of dollars. One MS67 plus example fetched over $1,000 at auction. But $1.5 million? It would take a perfect storm, a massive minting anomaly, immaculate preservation, and a hungry collector with deep pockets. An MS70 coin with a confirmed double strike or off-metal planchet, especially if it's the only known example, could fetch astronomical prices. But those are once-in-a-lifetime finds. Here's how you can check your own 1990 D quarters. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling in the lettering. Check the mint mark. Is it missing or oddly placed? Inspect for off-center strikes or signs of the wrong metal. Weigh the coin. A normal quarter should be 5.67 grams. If you suspect something rare, send it to PCGS or NGC for grading. And remember, never clean your coin. that could destroy its value. Is there really a $1.5 million 1990 D quarter out there? Maybe, maybe not. But what we do know is that rare errors and high grades bring serious cash. So next time you get change, check those quarters. You might be holding history in your hand. Hit that like button if you learned something new, subscribe for weekly coin tips, and let me know in the comments, what's the rarest coin you own? We're diving into the unbelievable story of a 1992 D Washington quarter that has been valued at a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. Yep, you heard that right. One single quarter, worth nearly $2 million. So what makes this coin so special? Could you have one in your pocket right now? Let's find out. First, let's start with the basics. The 1992 Washington quarter is part of the standard coinage the U.S. Mint produced for circulation. It features George Washington on the obverse, or front, and an eagle on the reverse. If your quarter has a little deep mint mark just to the right of Washington's ponytail, that means it was minted in Denver. The Mint produced over 389 million of these quarters that year. So how on earth could one be worth $1.80 million? It all comes down to errors, varieties, and condition, and sometimes a perfect storm of all three. Now, here's where things get wild. One specific 1992 D quarter has gained attention from collectors because it's not just any ordinary coin. It's believed to be a transitional error or possibly a wrong planchet error that slipped past the Mint's strict quality control. Some reports suggest the coin was struck on a 90% silver planchet, which was not supposed to be used after 1964. Others believe it may have a proof reverse on a regular circulation strike, known as the close AM reverse. Borrowed from the Lincoln Cent world. Add in nearly flawless condition, likely MS 68 or higher, and you have a coin that's not just rare, but nearly impossible to replicate. So what pushes a coin's value into seven figures? There are four major factors. Rarity. The coin must be one of a kind or nearly so. Demand. Collectors need to want it, and want it badly. Condition. Graded by agencies like PCGS or NGC. The higher the grade, the more value. Mystique. Sometimes, a coin becomes a legend because of a backstory, an error, or just its incredible survival. This 1992 D quarter reportedly checks all of these boxes. Voiceover with footage of coin grading. PCGS slabbed coins. If you think you might have something special, don't take it to your local pawn shop. Instead, send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. They'll authenticate, grade, and encapsulate your coin in a tamper-proof holder, providing legitimacy and a huge boost to its potential value. Voiceover with hands-on visuals showing regular versus rare quarters. Now, let's talk about what to look for. While you probably won't stumble upon the $1.8 million coin, there are still 1992 D quarters worth $50, $100, even several thousand. Mint errors, double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, transitional planchets, coins struck on the wrong metal, proof reverse varieties, especially if struck on a circulation strike, condition. Even common coins can be worth more in MS 67 or higher. Post on camera with visuals of coin rolls, banks, estate sales. You might be wondering, where can you find these quarters? Coin rolls from the bank, old jars in your grandparents' house, estate sales, or garage sales. Flea markets and antique shops always have a magnifying glass or a USB microscope handy, because you never know what you might find. The story of the 1992 D quarter worth $1.8 million isn't just about money, it's about the thrill of discovery. Even if you never find the coin, collecting teaches patience, observation, and appreciation for history. So check your change, keep learning, and who knows? Maybe you'll be the next person to strike it rich from a 25-cent piece. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin content, and ring the bell so you don't miss a single treasure hunting tip. We're diving into one of the rarest, most mysterious U.S. quarters out there, the 1992 P. Washington quarter with a shocking error that makes collectors go wild. This isn't your average pocket change. While most 1992 quarters are worth just 25 cents, one version, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, with a rare close AM, reverse, and sharp design details, has commanded attention from top collectors. In this video, we'll break down exactly what makes this coin special, how to identify one, what experts say about its value, and yes, why one version has been appraised at up to $1.8 million. The Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1932. But in 1992, something unusual happened at the mint. An extremely rare die, possibly intended for proof coins, was used to strike some regular circulation quarters. Typically, 1992 quarters from Philadelphia feature wide spacing between the letters and M in the word America on the reverse. But a handful of these quarters have what's called a close AM, something usually found only on proof coins made for collectors. So what's the deal with this close AM? Take a look at this. In the rare 1992 P close AM quarter, the letters and M are almost touching. That tells experts that the wrong reverse die was used, specifically, a die meant for proof coins, not general circulation. This kind of error is incredibly rare. It's a transitional variety, meaning it was made during a switch in design types. Collectors love transitional errors because they're like time capsules showing how the mint operates and sometimes messes up. Okay, now for the big question. Why is one of these coins supposedly worth $1.8 million? Experts believe only one or two of these coins exist in pristine, uncirculated condition. That rarity alone gives it massive value. But what really drives the price? Demand. Rare coin collectors, investors, and even museums are willing to pay top dollar for true one-of-a-kind heirs. In fact, a known collector reportedly offered $1.8 million for a flawless example. Now, it's important to note, not every close AM 1992 quarter is worth millions. Condition, grading, and certification matter. Only the best of the best will fetch that kind of payday. Want to know if you've got one? Here's what to do. Flip your 1992 quarter and look at the word America. Check if the A and M are almost touching. Look for the P mint mark on the obverse, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Check the condition. Anything with strong detail and know where is worth a closer look. If you think you've got one, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Authentication is everything when it comes to rare coins. So, is the 1992 P close AM quarter worth $1.8 million? For the right collector and the right coin, absolutely. It's one of the rarest modern errors ever discovered. And here's the kicker, these coins weren't known until recently. That means there could be more out there, sitting in jars, drawers, or even in your car's cup holder. Check your change. You might be holding a piece of US mint history and possibly your ticket to becoming a millionaire. Want more videos like this? Subscribe, hit that bell icon, and give us a like. And if you have an unusual coin or error you want us to feature, drop it in the comments below. We're diving deep into the story behind this coin, separating myth from fact, and uncovering the true value and potential worth of your 1993 D quarter. So don't go anywhere. First, let's talk about the coin itself. The 1993 Washington quarter is part of the long-running series first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. The obverse, or front of the coin, features Washington's profile, while the reverse shows an eagle with outstretched wings, a design used until 1998. In 1993, quarters were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. The D mint mark means it was struck in Denver, and there were over 645 million of them produced that year. So on the surface, the 1993 D quarter is anything but rare. So where does the $1.7 million valuation come from? Is it real? Some websites and viral videos claim that a rare error version of the 1993 D quarter fetched over $1 million at auction. But here's the catch. There's no official record from major auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or PCGS of any 1993 D quarter selling anywhere near that amount. Most of these claims stem from either clickbait content or confusion with other coins, like extremely rare quarters from 1970, 1965, or pre-1932 errors. That being said, your 1993 D quarter can still be worth more than face value, but not millions. Here's what to look for. Some error coins from 1993 D have sold for $50 to $300 depending on the rarity and condition of the error. If your coin is in mint state, MS 65 or higher, especially with full luster and no scratches, collectors will pay more. PCGS price guide values in 1993 D quarter in MS 67 at around $25 to $50, with very high grades like MS 68 fetching a bit more, though they're rare. So let's go back to that crazy $1.7 million figure. If there's no record of that sale, What gives? Well, this kind of misinformation often goes viral on social media and gets repeated without verification. It might be based on a fictional article, a joke listing on eBay, or even a hoax post meant to drive traffic. This shows the importance of verifying with reliable sources like PCGS, NGC, or actual auction records. If you've got a 1993 D quarter in your pocket or change jar, here's what to do. Is it heavily worn or shiny and crisp? Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling or strange features. Use PCGS.com or NGCcoin.com for comparison. Or take it to a local coin dealer or submit for professional grading. So, is your 1993 D quarter worth $1.7 million? Probably not, but that doesn't mean it's worthless either. Coins can be surprising, and that's the fun of collecting. If you want to learn more about rare quarters, errors, or how to get coins graded, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a video. Drop a comment below if you've got an interesting quarter or want us to cover another rare coin. We're diving into one of the most mind-blowing rumors in the world of coin collecting. Could a regular-looking 1994 D Washington quarter actually be worth $1.4 million? Yep, you heard that right. $1.4 million. But is it true? What's the story behind this coin? And what should you really be looking for in your pocket change? Let's break it all down. The Washington quarter has been a part of American currency since 1932. The 1994 quarter was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, that's the D mint mark we're focusing on, and San Francisco. Denver alone struck over 880 million quarters that year. So, how could one possibly be worth a fortune? Well, not all quarters are created equal. Some can be worth thousands or, yes, even more, because of mint errors, rarity, or unique characteristics that collectors go wild for. Let's address the elephant in the room. Where did this $1.4 million value even come from? Some sources online, especially viral videos and posts, have claimed that a 1994 D quarter sold for over $1 million at auction. But after a deep fact check, no official record exists of a 1994 D quarter fetching that kind of cash. Not from Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or any other major numismatic auction house. That doesn't mean the coin isn't valuable, it just means we need to separate hype from reality. To understand if your 1994 D quarter is worth anything more than 25 cents, you need to check for the big 3, a 1994 D with a dramatic mint error, like a double strike or a significant off-center strike. Can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And if it's in perfect mint state, especially MS 67 or higher, that's where serious collector interest kicks in. Let's look at some real auction results to ground our expectations. A 1994 D quarter graded MS 68 by PCGS once sold for over $1. For 100 coins and MS 67 regularly go for $1.50, $200. So while $1.4 million might be far-fetched, it's not a total bust. High-grade and error quarters from 1994 D are absolutely collectible and can fetch decent money. Got some quarters at home? Here's what you need to do. White heavy checkmark, look for the D mint mark under Washington's ponytail. White heavy checkmark, check for mint errors, double dies, off-center strikes. Or missing clad layers. White heavy checkmark, use a 10x magnifier or jeweler's loop. White heavy checkmark, consider submitting the coin to PCGS or NGC for grading if it looks flawless. Even a small error can make a big difference. So is the 1994 D quarter worth $1.40 million? Speech balloon. Short answer: probably not. But if you've got a rare mint error or a perfect specimen, you could still be holding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Always verify with auction houses, grading companies, and official price guides before jumping to conclusions. If you learned something today, hit that thumbs up like button, smash that bell notification bell, and subscribe for more coin facts, myths, and hidden treasures. Have a 1994 D quarter or found something cool in your change? Drop a comment below. I'd love to see it.